Hi, what's up? How's everybody doing? Welcome to ETC Everything Cannabis. This portion is Blaze Your Own Trail. I'm Ife, your host. What's going on? I'm here vibing into a little Outcast, old school right now, trying to roll this blunt. And today we have Miss Tammy Pettigrew, aka the Cannabis Cutie, is going to be on. I'm excited. She's done a lot of things in the cannabis community, and she's an educator, advocate, and all-around dope-ass person. So yeah, I am looking forward to seeing her and hanging out, getting to know more about her, and let you guys know more too. So let me continue to roll this blunt though. So slow at rolling blunts. Is anyone else like slow rolling blunts? Cause yeah. It doesn't help that I already smoked already too, but whatever. Don't get your hands in the air. Let's go. Okay, so I am, let me tell you what I'm smoking on though. Lolo. See it right here, Lolo? That's right. This is true OG. It smells really good. Let me show you it too, okay? That's great. See that? Pretty, right? Yeah. So yeah, Lolo, it's an indica. It's got about 26% THC in it. They're always saying that, your THC has to be high for you to get high, but I don't believe it. Not at all. So yeah, I'm really excited. You guys are too. Hey! Hey Tammy, what's up? Hey Jenny! Okay. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk to you finally.
I know, right? Me too. I'm very excited to have you on. I'm over here struggling to roll a blunt. Like, this is my life.
Yeah, I definitely have been there.
So I'm like, okay, let me get it together. But I'm always so slow at it. But you know what? I'm gonna get it one day,
I'm
definitely.
dabbing with
Your
you.
dad, you
Yeah.
know, right? That's a smart way.
Yeah.
A little less maintenance, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Definitely. Oh, well, thank you for being here. I'm excited to talk with you as I roll this
I
and
love it.
smoke with you. Okay. Okay. Like it's really cool being a female in the industry and like watching females in the industry such as yourself, like just like I'm watching you doing amazing. I'm like, there she goes again. She just went on a go Tammy. Like, go girl.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's been exciting. It's been fun.
yeah, I love your journey. Like you're doing it too. I'm like, go girl. And it's nice to see you out there, hanging out. You're like one of the strong women out there with the guys,
Yeah. Well, I have a
So
lot of brothers, so
okay, so
yeah.
that's where it comes from. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy. Guys are cool, they're fun to hang out with. Yeah.
Yeah, I love women though too. So
Yeah, of course, yeah. Of
yeah.
course. Absolutely. So thank you for being here. And I wanted to get started and talk to you about so you went to school. The university is at Miami, is that correct?
Yeah, that's where I
Okay.
went for grad school. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you went to grad and you got a master in business
Yeah.
administration, which is interesting.
Yes.
Because how does one go and I guess like anyone get a degree in business administration and then end up in cannabis?
That was always the intention. I knew that I wanted to be in the cannabis industry, and I knew I wanted to go back to school after I went to undergrad because I got a degree in sports.
Awesome.
Yeah, sports management. So I went back to school to get an MBA. I just didn't know what aspect of the industry that I wanted to be in.
Hmm.
So I started educating myself because I figured that was probably the best first step was to learn. And then that's kind of when I decided after 6 years of school and almost $200,000 in
Oh
education
my
to be an
God.
entrepreneur.
6 years? I
Yeah.
did I did 4 and that was like too much.
Well,
Less
grad school. So
okay,
yeah,
okay. Got you,
all
got
of
you. Yeah,
that
yeah,
to
yeah.
become an entrepreneur. But I'm amazed at the path that I'm on, and it's been fun. So I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I love the path that you're on too, and like what got you into the cannabis industry, and especially what you're doing, like you're educating, the masses at
Yeah.
that, and they're hearing you and
Yeah.
listening, and that says something for you as a person, you know.
Yeah. My education started when I first consumed cannabis for the first time in college, at Oklahoma State. And once I realized that I was becoming a better person and it was improving me, I didn't shut up from then on. I didn't have the science for a good 10, 12 years, but once I learned the science, it was kind of like game over. Now you really can't stop me. I have proof to back it up. I'm not just this hippie stoner
Hmm.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome because that's what people really think of, when they see people like, oh, stoners are just hippies, like we don't have anything else going on, like all we do is smoke, and it for me it was important why I started ETC is like yourself, like I want to start educating people, let's break the stigma on this cannabis thing. I grew up in a cannabis household, like the whole family. It was, people are like, really? I'm like, my whole family. So it was something natural. No one
Nice.
ever really said much. It was the outside people that said it. So, you
Right.
know, I was fortunate, but I like the fact that you're educating. What made you want to start educating people?
I think because I know how to explain things that are complex to understand in a simple way. And it was kind of like an idea that I had with some of my friends, and they're like, "You've been talking about weed for years. Just, yeah, do it. This is a great idea. You should launch this idea." So I just started with me making videos and posts, and then it kind of just nothing turned into something over time as I just stayed at it and kept at it. So me wanting to educate was just me wanting to take all this stuff that's in my head that I talk about on a daily basis to just anybody who's willing to listen and just put it on the internet.
Yeah, and you say, isn't it amazing how you just took it, you put it on the internet, and boom, like not just that, you have you you have a book club that
Yeah.
is going on that is just boom since you started, and
Yeah.
people are reading the books, they're there, they're joining, they're like, look, when's the next book coming out, what are we reading next? That's
Yeah.
also like, when did you start, like how the book club, why did you
I
want to start
think
that one?
for me, my goal was to start reading more books. And
Hmm.
since we're kind of all at home hanging out anyway, I figured why not create some accountability for myself and create this book club. That way I have to read and it puts
Yes.
accountability towards other people. You're pouring into yourself in a positive way, adding goodness to your mind. So it's kind of, I mean, the idea of it, cultivating community, learning together, and just building and establishing good habits in a group. So that was kind of
Hmm.
the idea behind it all.
Okay. Okay. I have to confess, I joined the book club. I'm
Yeah.
coming. I'm coming. I swear I'm coming. I gotta get the books, okay? Because I'm like, I gotta do this because I want to be
Yeah.
educated more. There's people come to me for, and I have enough education, but I don't think I need more. I know I need
Yeah.
more. I mean, I know the minimum, but I know I need more. So I'm
Yeah. It's always
definitely.
nice to have other people's perspectives on the material when you read it or learn about it. So that's kind of one of the fun things about the book club. And sorry,
No, it's okay.
some people, some people only watch the replays of the book club and don't ever come to the meetings, which also works too.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's different ways of participation.
At least they're still getting the information, which is good.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And from the book club, you aren't you starting your own university, your cannabis
I do
university
have
too?
my own course, yeah. Cannabis Cutie Education, yeah. So I do have a Cannabis 101 course. Definitely want to roll out more courses. My workload is so heavy right now that that's kind of not really in planning phases.
Hmm.
Another course, but definitely a Cannabis 101 course. There's tons of courses out there that are great. I have my own version, which is my style, and that's simple, easy to understand, and to the point.
Okay. And Zuri, Sandy just asked, is it online?
Yeah, it's online. It's on teachable.com. It's at your own pace, on demand. There's quizzes, but they don't mean anything. It's just to test how much you understand the material. You could always go back and go over it as much as you want. There's PDFs that you can print out, and there's an outline for you to take notes. just like you're in school to kind of follow along with the material and the topics.
Absolutely. And again, she's easy to follow. She explains stuff to thoroughly till you get it, you know it. It's good. I've seen your videos. Trust me, I've been watching.
Love it. Thank you.
I've been watching. Absolutely. You're educating me. Believe me. I love it. Definitely.
Yay.
And also, how is it? You're a mom, of course, correct? And with cannabis, how did that affect like your relationship with your kids? Like how did you end up explaining it to them, or have you?
I have, absolutely.
Okay.
I just explained it I told them the truth. It's medicine. You know, it helps with cancer, it helps with brains, it helps with depression, anxiety, it helps with sleep. They watched it grow next to other fruits and vegetables in the backyard. So, you know, there's no programming that I think anybody can do to my kids. When they watched the peppers grow with sunlight and water, and they watched the cannabis grow with sunlight and water, what's the difference? And they also take CBD daily. My son, when he doesn't have his CBD, he will let me know, like, hey, Mom, I need it. And I asked him, like, hey, how do you feel when you take it? And he said he feels calm. And he doesn't like being agitated and anxious and over hyper the way that he is. So he likes to feel centered and balanced, and CBD helps provide him that. And yeah, he even notices that as a child.
I love that. I love that. Yes, Zuri, does the THC help autism in children?
Okay, so there's tons of research with THC and autism and CBD and autism. Tikkun Alum, they have a Bible that you can download on their website, essentially, that has all the research from Israel. So if you want to learn about cannabis and autism, Israel is going to be what you're going to need to search on Google. And there's tons of scholarly journals and reports and studies that have been done into this. So there are benefits.
Okay, awesome. And one of the gentlemen had asked earlier he says, Silas said he's looking for a CBD or THC oil to cook with in Atlanta. Do you know anybody in Atlanta yet with CBD yet?
You know, in Atlanta, there's a lot of places that have CBD. I would definitely make sure you're checking out where it's tested. Don't get it from a gas station.
Yeah.
And then in Atlanta, I don't know where you could buy.
That's okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Atlanta's coming up too. You know, they're starting to get their legalization. So it's happening for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so you also do like demything, debunking myths. I can't even say it. Debunking myths, right? So I wanted to kind of do like, I have like 6 questions that I want to ask you, and kind of like play a game, and you tell me like, is it true or not?
Okay.
So the first one is, and I think this is a lot of questions for everybody, me too, myself, is it true that the higher the THC, the better the weed, or the higher you'll get off the weed?
That is false, actually. Okay. THC percentage is definitely going to tell you how much THC is in the plant, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get you higher than something that has 20%. And that's because the terpenes kind of determine what type of high you will get. So I've definitely had some 16% cannabis that was grown outdoors that has knocked me off my socks. And I've had 30% THC that, I mean, it was cool. So it's definitely the supporting characters around the THC and not just the THC itself.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay. Also, is it true that weed makes you lazy?
That is true and false. Okay. So, the plant itself is not going to physically cause someone to be lazy, but overconsumption can make someone lazy, just like overconsumption of fast food and TV and other things can make someone lock themselves on the couch. But yeah, overuse, chronic use can affect the motivation chemical levels, one of those neurotransmitters with a big name. But it's definitely dependent on the person.
Okay, cool. Okay, third question. Is it true that taking too much CBD is bad for you?
Ooh, it can be, absolutely, especially if you're on certain medicines. If you have any medications that say, do not take this medicine with grapefruit, do not take it with CBD. And we've seen in animal models, when you administer too much CBD, I'm talking 30x the amount you should be taking, there has been shown to show some liver toxicity. So yes, it can be dangerous. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Real Flocka said rookies laugh out loud. Hush up. He's funny. Okay, the fourth question, CBD. Does CBD bounce the effects of THC?
Yes. So if you're ever too high off of THC, you can take CBD to kind of bring you down, but instead of just taking the high down, what you're exchanging is now it's going to be like a long release effect. So you may bring the high down, but the length of time is definitely going to be longer. So it's an extended release type of situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 5, all weed produces, does all weed produce the same kind of high?
No, absolutely not. It definitely is dependent on the terpene profile. And if you want to know what the terpene profile is, just smell it. If it smells limony or sweet or earthy or sour, you can start to tell from your nose and smelling it what's what. And I would always recommend journaling what you smell, smoking it, and then how you felt if you don't have strain names. For me, I've definitely figured out things that smell gassy is exactly what I love. So definitely recommend journaling to kind of figure out which strain and which high you prefer.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay. And the 6th question, is it true that you can overdose on weed?
No, absolutely not. You cannot overdose on weed. Well, first we'll talk about how an overdose happens. So opioids can get into the brainstem, which is dangerous because that's the part of the brain that regulates automatic things. So blinking, breathing, coughing, in your sleep, that's when you're knocked out, that's what's causing you to still breathe and cough and do all of those things. Cannabinoids can't get into that part of the brain. And that's a good thing, because if opioids or cannabinoids get into that brain, it can paralyze the brainstem. And then if you start throwing up in your sleep, it's not going to automatically start coughing. If you stop breathing in your sleep, your brainstem is not going to keep breathing for you. Cannabinoids can't get into there, so you're safe. Now, you may feel like you're going to die when you overdose on an edible, but I promise you, you're fine.
I think everyone may has had an experience on an edible before like that. Like, oh, what did I just do?
Yeah. Praying your life away to survive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for playing that with me. That was awesome information that you gave to us. I appreciate that. And before like we wrap up and everything, I do want to ask, for those that are out there, like, what would you recommend for people who are just getting into cannabis? Like, where should they start? What should they do? Is there any online courses that you would recommend, or schooling that you would recommend for them?
Yeah, if someone's getting into the industry and they don't know where to begin, I would say, what is it that you're good at and what are you passionate about? And then go down that lane. Even if it sounds crazy, I'm really good at teaching and speaking, and I figured out a lane here in cannabis. The good thing is right now you can create your own lane. Education is the #1 thing that you have to do. I have a course, and there's other courses out there if you want more in-depth information, or if I'm just not the educator for you, and then just go for it. And you have to pick something that you love. If you're not passionate about marketing, don't become a marketer. If you're not passionate about cultivating and growing plants, if you can't even keep your houseplant alive, don't go into cultivation.
Come on, say it.
Sure, you're passionate about it, and you'll get up every day and you'll want to do it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, and thank you. I don't do a whole lot of long interviews. I'm not that person. I'm just like, people's time is very important. So I appreciate you being here and hanging out with ETC. Thanks so much for all the information that you provided us. And make sure you guys go and join Tammy's book club, okay? And her online course. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good night. Bye.